announcing the arrival of Yang Berbahagia Datin Dr. Ng Su Bin, Deputy Director of Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics, Curriculum Development Division, Ministry of Education, Malaysia, accompanied by Yang Berusaha Dr. Ruzmina binti Musliman, Senior Assistant Director, Research Development and Innovation Center, Institute of Teacher Education, Malaysia, and Yang Berusaha Dr. Nagalingam Karpeya, the Director of Institute of Teacher Education International Languages Campus.
Ladies and gentlemen, Negaraku, the National Anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and merciful, let us seek strength and guidance during the closing ceremony of the 4th International Conference on Teacher Learning and Development, ICTLD 2018. May I invite Al-Fadil Dr. Amin Yamin bin Muhammad Yusuf to lead the recitation of the dua. Please welcome him.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi samii'il 'aliim minasyaitonir rajiim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulil amin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad. Ya Allah, Ya Rahim, in conjunction with the 4th International Conference on Teacher Learning and Development, we are grateful towards you in favor of all the infinite blessings on us, your servant. Nonetheless, we thank you for the success of this event. Ya Allah, Ya Malik, our responsibility in executing the Malaysian Development Master Plan to meet the demands and needs of Education 4.0 in the 21st century is indeed very challenging. As such, Ya Allah, bestow on us the commitment, strength, patience, and perseverance to upgrade the national education level to the world standard without neglecting our virtues and our principles. Ya Allah, Ya Wahhab, we are weak, Ya Allah. Please bless us with your tawfiq and hidayah. Please give us strength and guide us to the greatness, peace, and glory. We have limits in our patience. Please give us the ni'mah and rewards for patience of the Ulul Azmi prophets. Ya Allah, we tend to be selfish and think only for our own good. Please teach us and our hearts to give priority to our brothers and sisters, as how your Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaches all the Sahaba to do so. Ya Allah, our hearts are not strong and not united. So please, Ya Allah, Please make our hearts united and give us the space and time to spread the kind deeds and stop the evil. Amar ma'ruf nahi munkar. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Allah, Ya Rahim, Ya Allah, Ya Rabbal Alameen. May all our efforts in educating our future generation and improving the system of education in this country be granted with your guidance and blessings. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana hadha jam'an marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'dihi tafarruqan mubarakan ma'suma wa la taj'alillahumma fina wa la ma'ana wa la man yatba'una shaqiyan wa la matrudan wa la mahruma. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa baraka wa sallama walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Taqabbalallahu minkum.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Al-Fadil Dr. Ami Yamin bin Muhammad Yusuf. May Almighty bestow His blessings upon our ceremony this morning.
Oh, very good afternoon. I wish to Yang Berbahagia, Datin Dr. Ng Su Bin, Deputy Director of Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics, Curriculum Development Division, Ministry of Education, Malaysia. Yang Berusaha, Dr. Rusminah binti Musliman, Senior Assistant Director of Research, Development and Innovation Center, representing the Rector of Institute of Teacher Education, Malaysia, as the co-chair of the ICT LD 2018. Yang Berusaha, Dr. Nagalingam Karpaya, the Director of Institute of Teacher Education, International Languages Campus, as the co-chair of ICT LD 2018. Yang Berusaha, Dr. Chongpo Wan, Deputy Director of Institute of Teacher Education, International Languages Campus, the Directors of Institute of Teacher Education Campuses, the Directors of State Education Departments, Principals and Headmasters, lecturers, teachers, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the closing ceremony of the 4th International Conference on Teacher Learning and Development, ICTLD 2018. Now, let's watch a multimedia presentation of the 3-day conference. Thank you very much to the technical team for the wonderful presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's invite Yang Berusaha Dr. Nagalingam Karupaya, Director of International Languages Teacher Training Institute, to deliver his speech and resolution of ICTLD 2018. Please welcome him.
Yang berbahagia Datin Dr. Ng Subun, Deputy Director, Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics. We just spoke about STEM a while ago. Curriculum Development Division, Ministry of Education, Malaysia. Yang Berusaha Dr. Rusminah binti Musliman, representing the Rector, Institute of Teacher Education, Ministry of Education, Malaysia, Chair of ICTLD 2018. Distinguished guests from the Ministry of Education, plenary speakers, participants and committee members of ICTLD 2018, Selamat Tengah Hari and Salam Sejahtera. First of all, I would like to express my appreciation for the excellent work done by the ICTLD 2018 Organizing Committee, and my gratitude to all the conference delegates for making this conference a success. This year's conference theme is Sharing Visions in Changing Times, Developing Transformative Pedagogies. Transformative pedagogy empowers both teachers and learners. It inspires learners to be reflective and critical thinkers who are able to contribute profoundly as members of local and global communities. It also creates concrete opportunities for learners to identify and reflect on interconnectedness and shared responsibilities. Transformative pedagogy also emphasizes and prioritizes the inquiry-based learning, which is the process of learning, then the association and memorizing of information itself. Fostering the curiosity of the learners is more important than delivering knowledge and information. This approach advocates that each learner follows his or her own path to building and organizing personal knowledge. Ultimately, this pedagogical approach aims to provide the opportunity for learners to act collectively to achieve common goals, build on their individual strengths, and appreciate the diversity around them. It is also important to note that transformative pedagogy also redefines our role as teachers. Currently, teachers become facilitators with the disposition, knowledge, skills, and commitment to support learners to develop their full potential, and for the teachers to be able to implement effective teaching and learning very much essential for preparing our learners for the 21st century skills. Education in the 21st century is all about embracing digital technology. The government's aspiration for our future generation is for them to be tech-savvy. This is living with the changing times, and as technology is moving rapidly, educators have to keep up with this rapid pace. We need to create space for new ideas, build times for self-reflection, and explore our knowledge of students' learning process. This conference is definitely an excellent platform for us to share and explore each other's views, experience, challenge, and create connections and relations to continue developing transformative pedagogies. The ministry's fervent hope is for the higher education institutions to be prepared to adapt and change their curriculum and delivery so that graduates are able to fill in jobs which are yet to emerge. In embracing the fourth industrial revolution, the process of teaching and learning has to be focused. In the purview of learning and teaching 4.0, there are several aspects which are paramount. One of the aspects is different from the kind of pedagogies are needed, which are heutagogy, self-determined learning, pedagogy, peer-oriented learning, and cybergogy, virtual-based learning. In addition, apart from the pedagogies mentioned, the learning spaces and the curriculum should incorporate the latest learning and teaching technology. Attention has to also to be given towards deep learning, which has come to the forefront of the educational lexicon and claimed the attention of teachers, school administrators, and education policymakers. A fundamental rationale for deep learning in a volatile and constantly changing world is to equip learners to deal with change and new challenges, to be lifelong learners, and to be able to apply what has been learned to new situations. Hence, I hope that as education researchers and experts, we are aiming at not just developing and enhancing effective classroom pedagogies, but in selecting the best practice to meet the current education needs. The success of the future generation will depend on the foundation they are given in schools. More than knowing, we must empower our students with a love of learning and the dispositions they require to take charge of their lives as learners. The skills of learning that are so central to the art of teaching have the greatest importance in the lives of our children are likely to live. And it is our passion for these skills, the art of learning, which should be visible in every lesson we teach. For the information of Datin Eng Subun, this conference which started on the 14th of June and ending today, we had the keynote address from the Director General of Education, and we had 5 plenary sessions. We invited distinguished plenary speakers, Dr. Jonathan from New Zealand. Thank you so much, Dr. Jonathan. Dr. Willie from NIE Singapore. Thank you again, Dr. Willie. Professor Leslie Berre from Indiana State University. Thank you again. And the forum members comprising Tan Sri Zul, Dr. Eric Chong, Professor Zuraida, they had delivered to their best of their abilities, and I presume and I hope, and I, as a person who attended all these plenary sessions, I learned a lot from this conference, and I'm sure it has been the same with all of you. So thank you so much to all the delegates coming from far and near, teachers, lecturers from IPG KBA, and lecturers from all other institutions around Malaysia. I thank you so much, and especially a special thanks to my students from IPG KBA who are here in assisting us, and they were also the presenters for this conference. I take this opportunity to also thank the ICTLD committee members 2018 for delivering a wonderful ICTLD conference 2018. I am certain this year's ICTLD conference has indeed provided us with valuable and important experience and knowledge for us to further contribute our expertise in the field. And I also wish to take this opportunity to thank Institute of Teacher Education Malaysia for their total commitment in realizing the implementation of this ICTLD 2018. Special thanks to Datin Dr. Ng Soo Boon, who is representing the Director General of Education, for allowing your presence here. Finally, I would like to thank each and everyone, people from the Bahagian Teknologi Pendidikan who assisted us all the way from the first day up to now. To everyone whose names I'm not able to mention here, but it is from my bottom of my heart, I wish to say a big thank you.
Thank you very much, Yang Berusaha Dr. Nagalingam Karupaya, Director, Institute of Teacher Education, International Languages Campus, for the speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be patient.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's invite Yang Berusaha Dr. Nagalingam Karupaya, Director, Institute of Teacher Education, International Languages Campus, to read the resolution of ICTLD 2018. Please welcome him.
The resolutions, International Conference on Teacher Learning and Development. The Institute of Teacher Education Malaysia, International Conference on Teacher Learning and Development, held from the 14th to the 16th August 2018 at Hotel Royal Chulan, Bukit Bintang, Kuala Lumpur, was attended by 250 participants, comprising Ministry of Education officers, lecturers from Institute Pendidikan Guru, matriculation colleges, Institute Aminuddin Baki, local and foreign higher education institutes, as well as school teachers. The participants of the conference unanimously and wholeheartedly agree that the main aim of the conference, that of sharing visions in changing times to develop transformative pedagogies so as to meet the demands and needs of Education 4.0 in the 21st century, can best be achieved through the following resolutions. 1. Improving IPG teaching curriculum, co-curriculum, and assessment in line with the aims of the Malaysian Education Blueprint 2013-2025 and the IPG Transformation Program 2016-2025 to transform IPG into a world-class teacher training institute by 2025. Two, emphasizing transformative pedagogies in teacher training so as to equip IPG graduates with current trends in teaching and learning for the 21st century. 3. Mandating ICT and digital literacy in teacher training to enable pre-service teachers to experience the digital culture so that they can embrace it when they eventually teach in schools. 4. Improving and upgrading both ICT infrastructure and infrastructure of IPG with the aim to attain digital fluency. 5. Moving away from pedagogy-based teaching to heutagogy, pedagogy, and cybergogy, and teaching pre-service and in-service teachers the skills to promote fun learning that can enhance computational thinking, deep skills, and higher order thinking acquisition. 6. Providing training for pre-service and in-service teachers to help them make into active learners who will also be lifelong learners. Number 7, creating a culture of research and innovation in IPG in order to enhance the delivery of education and pedagogical innovations to future teachers. Number 8, enhancing IPG pre-service teachers' ability to be good at complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, coordinating with others, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation, negotiation, and cognitive flexibility. Number 9, enhancing language acquisition to improve pre-service and in-service teachers' accessibility to the virtual world. Number 10, enhancing pre-service and in-service teachers' ability to be good at conducting individualized learning. Number 11, upholding the tenets of humanistic education to ensure that modern learning practices do not lead to a mechanized and depersonalized education system. And number 12, enhancing the capacity of IPG as a pedagogical and teacher development hub that trains teachers and would-be teachers to cater for individual differences in children, in particular children with special needs. And the last one, emphasizing STEM education based on the 21st century skills to cater for Industrial Revolution 4.0. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nagalingam Karpaya. Please remain on stage. We now invite Yang Berbahagia Datin Ng Su Bun, Deputy Director of Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics, Curriculum Development Division of Curriculum Development Center, Ministry of Education Malaysia on stage to receive the ICTLD 2018 resolution. And thereafter to proceed to deliver the closing speech as well as to officiate the closing ceremony of the 4th International Conference on Teacher Learning and Development ICTLD 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome her.
Okay, thank you. Yang Berusaha Dr. Rosmina binti Masliman, representing Director, Institute of Teacher Education, Ministry of Education, Malaysia, and also Chair of ICTLD 2018. Yang Berusaha Dr. Nagalingam Karupiah, Director, Institute of Teacher Education, International Languages Campus, Kuala Lumpur, Co-Chair of ICTLD 2018. Distinguished guests from the Ministry of Education, plenary speakers, participants and committee members of ICTLD 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, it is great to be here in the name of the Almighty God, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praises is for God, and we seek His help and His forgiveness, and a good day to all of you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I personally fully support and also think that having a platform for us to discuss about pedagogies is of great importance. Somebody has said to me before that teachers obtain their skills when they are teaching, and they are expert enough. They don't need to discuss further about how to teach. Because if I can understand my own teaching, how can my students don't understand my teaching? And I think that's a very wrong thinking, right? Am I right? Otherwise, you won't be here, right? Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to read some of these passages, okay, this speech. We have reached the end of the 4th International Conference on Teacher Learning and Development, ICTLD 2018, and it is indeed a great pleasure for me to give the closing remarks at the end of 3 productive and fruitful days of the conference. By hearing the resolutions, I'm sure you have a really good discussion because it covers a lot of things. But I see a lot of digital literacy come out from there. So it actually spells what we think should be the focus in the year to come. Now, this conference is an outstanding example as our minds have been stormed by a torrent of ideas, information, perspectives, and vision. And I'm sure together with our plenary speakers, we have picked each other's mind and we have shared our thinking about pedagogies, and also we have deliberated deeply into the issues that is of great influence, great impact to our working. Now we shall reflect, as we reflect about what we have shared during the conference and consolidate our own personal perspectives. I think it is so much like constructivism that all of us preach about in our teaching. You know, in constructivism, we talk about how we will develop or build our own knowledge. So I'm sure whatever that has been shared in this conference, it's not something that you just take it and you just regurgitate, right? I'm sure all of us will go back and think about it and also internalize it so that we can implement it or we can apply it in our own working. Otherwise, it is just knowledge or information on paper if it is not being applied. Yeah. There are plenty to reflect upon, and if this conference in any way enhances our individual and collective contributions to deal with the global education challenges, then this conference can truly be announced a success. So maybe, Dr. Naga, maybe there is a need to do a follow-up to see whether if this conference is really a success, by looking at maybe after a month or two, maybe we need to send email out to everybody and see how much of it that you have internalized, how much of it that you have applied, right? Otherwise, the conference will go on year after year, yeah? Okay. Now, to place my remarks in context, let me start with the conference theme. The conference theme is sharing visions in changing times, developing transformative pedagogies. In the recent year, the term pedagogy, which is the art of being a teacher, refers not only to strategies, methodologies, or styles of instruction, but also to the facilitation and management of sustainable transformation. Meaning we are going towards sustainable pedagogies, whether individual, social, or institutional. The educators, practitioners, teachers, academics, and stakeholders are responsible to make the change in education for the better, to transform and expand the scope of their work towards an active participation to knowledge and advancement. And the knowledge that you are propagating or advancing are knowledge in pedagogies, knowledge in management of education, and knowledge in instruction. And when I look at the management of pedagogies, I like to share with you some thoughts about something that we have discussed in the last 2 days. About when we talk to the school inspectorate, for example, there is a general observation that what is also of issues in the classroom of today is classroom management. Teachers might have a lot of good pedagogies, a good instructional methodologies, but if you cannot manage the class well, that spells trouble. I'm not too sure. Perhaps that's something that we need to look into. You see, the kids of today is not the kids of yesterday. The kids of today is not going to sit down there quietly listening to us. Am I right? Yeah. We, the old-timers, or the not-so-old-timers, when we were trained in the teacher training, we may not be talking a lot about the kind of students we have today who might challenge us, who might be looking at their handphone or using the technology, and when we are not so familiarized with it. So we found that in a lot of cases, the teachers are speaking in front, but the students are not following the teaching, or the teacher lack of some management skills in that case. And I think we should not take that for granted, and we need to really look into that. It is a great challenge to expand the mandate of educators. I kind of like this sentence. What is the mandate of educators? The change in education requires a solid and proactive policies, meaning that actually how a teacher teach and how the IPG functions also depending a lot on policies. The policies that Ministry of Education placed in context, the IPGs or the EPRDs and etc. Now, if the idea that is presented through this speech is about solid and proactive policies aiming at flexible redistribution of roles in classrooms, schools, district, state, and national level, departing from narrow transmittive models of teaching and learning. I suppose it is departing from the narrow transmittive models of teaching and learning, to one of collaboration, coexistence, coherence, and mindfulness, I think. In this age, this redelineation of roles, taking collective responsibilities, is a necessity, ladies and gentlemen. It's not only a must-have or need to have, or nice to have, but it is for the sustainability of our education system. A task gigantic and challenging, but with the new thinking, new governance, the aspiration can be a reality. We need to rethink a teacher's role is not just to transmit knowledge, that is one. We need to also realize the role of teacher educators within the Ministry of Education, within the system of education. Because I was telling Dr. Naga that currently, within these few days, we are having a discussion, we are having very fruitful, very thoughtful discussions, a few days discussions with the UNESCO IBE, which is the International Bureau of Education. We have Dr. Renato and Prof. Dr. Carmen with us. And we were talking about, besides curriculum matters, also teaching, because teachers' quality, teacher preparation is very key in a good implementation of curriculum. And so the proposition is we should look at curriculum not as a set of plans, but as a consensus, as a discussion on what the society needs, what the stakeholder wants. If we follow that flow, ladies and gentlemen, the teacher training curriculum, you also need to take into consideration the stakeholders who are the students. Probably we should not be developing just curriculum based by the thoughts of the teacher trainers, but also maybe the masyarakat, the community, as well as the young people. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, we will be irrelevant. Yeah, we will be irrelevant. Now, I'm confident about this redelineation of roles, and I urge all educators and stakeholders to undertake these steps together for the betterment of the global education system, and in particular, the Malaysian education system. Now, transformative pedagogy, as discussed or explained by Dr. Naga just now, requires an open vision of curriculum. It advocates an evolving, meaning the curriculum is not static. There is a view about curriculum. If you look at the curriculum literature, curriculum is static. Curriculum need to look at the needs of the students, right, and needs of the society. So that is evolving. It is evolving. But of course, what's the problem with us in Malaysia is that if it is evolving, how am I going to standardize it? How am I going to have a good textbook? How am I going to have this and that? But this is where we need to have a change of mindset. Yeah, socially constructed curriculum. But I have my teacher trainers friends who's telling me that you have to follow MQA, for example. I don't know. But socially constructed curriculum is something that we also need to look at. We need to move ahead, ladies and gentlemen. We need to move ahead if we want to talk about education in the future, 2030. Yeah? Understood as a set of values and beliefs reflecting relations between competing cultures. It is our role as educators to reintroduce the pedagogy of new forms of subjectivity. It is good as I read, I'm trying to elaborate of what do we mean by this new form of subjectivity. Do we understand what do you mean by this subjectivity? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Based on multi-voiced, negotiated vision of knowledge, subject to relations that determine what is to be considered the truth. It's a mouthful. It is very inspirational, aspirational, and I challenge you, ladies and gentlemen, to look clearly and deeply into this. This is a message that the IPG has put together as a closing remark. Look at it, what do we mean by that? That means that we really have to open our mind on what should be in teacher training. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, in such perspective, knowledge can no longer be considered as the neutral content of pedagogy. Okay, that's a great challenge. Transformative pedagogies must have on their agenda the process of knowledge creation. Do we create knowledge, or do we base a lot on the literature that is available? Of course, we cannot be creating all knowledge, because knowledge itself is an accumulation of the historical journey of wise people like us, all right? So we cannot be building something new entirely, right? But we do need to think of ourselves, empower ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, since you have a conference, right? Empower yourself for knowledge creation, okay? Malaysia's education, for example, you talk about HOTS. Maybe we can be knowledge creation in terms of how to teach HOTS, maybe, all right? Its facilitation and relation to power at the periphery of knowledge as a product-based curriculum. Ladies and gentlemen, it must be a knowledge for all, not based on who has the loudest voice, we must based on mutual respect, negotiation, loving all mankind, towards seeking happiness in our society. Isn't that what our minister wants? Yeah. Now, I hope that this conference has inspired the delegates to make several reforms in our education system. We should ensure that we try our best to use new and innovative approaches. But these new and innovative approaches must be suitable and tailor-made for our children. The local context with global perspective. Now, we need to keep abreast with educational quality in developed countries, but also we need to look inward in our own context. Although there are challenges in planning and implementation, in reform of education, like what was mentioned just now, I believe that great things are possible to improve our Malaysian education system if we have an inspiring vision. We do have, Malaysia have great vision. A challenging, socially and economically relevant mission to actualize our common vision of enhancing our students' skills to meet the aspiration of the nation. A focused mission, ladies and gentlemen, one heart and one mind, we forge forward as educators globally and locally. To end my closing remarks, allow me to congratulate the conference organizers and the committee for the successful conference, including the quality of the sessions, activities, hotel venue, and the hospitality shown to the conference delegates. I also would like to express my gratitude for all those who made this conference a reality. A last statement, ladies and gentlemen. Don't keep what we have discussed during the conference as only words in a conference proceedings, but meditate on it and forge forward. Yep. Okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yang Berbahagia Datin Dr. Ng Subun, for officiating the closing ceremony of the 4th International Conference on Teacher Learning and Development, ICTLD 2018. Datin, please remain on stage. Thank you.
Esteemed guests, to show our appreciation, we would like to invite Yang Berusaha Dr. Rusmina binti Musliman, representing the chair of ICTLD 2018, accompanied by Yang Berusaha Dr. Nagalingam Karupaya, the co-chair of ICTLD 2018, to present token of appreciation to Yang Berbahagia Datin Dr. Ng Subun, Deputy Director of Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics, Curriculum Development Division, representing the Director General of Education, Ministry of Education, Malaysia. Thank you very much, Yang Berusaha Dr. Rosmina and Dr. Nagalingam. Ladies and gentlemen, with that we have come to the end of the closing ceremony of the 4th International Conference on Teacher Learning and Development in ICTLD 2018.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the IPGM song. you. We hope everyone had a pleasant and enriching experience throughout the conference, and we wish all a safe journey home to their respective destinations. Announcing the departure. Sorry. The distinguished guests are kindly invited to the stage for the photography session. And for the others, please, there's a final reminder. Before you adjourn, please respond to the survey of the ICT-LD 2018 attached in your ICT-LD website and your personal emails. Your kind feedback will be much appreciated. Thank you very much for being with us for ICT-LD 2018. Goodbye. Have a safe journey home. Thank you very much.